Beyond Sandbox took the VR scene by storm last year, promising to be a next-gen VR modding platform, and Sandbox of course, with additional game modes like zombie survival to boot. I cannot overstate how much attention this game got, especially for a VR game. This kind of hype is almost unheard of. I mean, they are literally the most wishlisted VR game, with over 400,000 wishlists and counting. The only examples I've seen rival this are Boneworks, Bone Lab, and of course, Half-Life Alyx. However, Beyond Sandbox was supposed to release today, so in light of the delay, I want to talk about the game as a whole, its marketing, the controversies relating to it, and much more. Also, let me get this out of the way, this video is about the game, its developers, and what people think about Beyond Sandbox. I will not be including any Discord drama because frankly, I don't think that's relevant to what I want to discuss. Let's get into it. First, let's go over what's made Beyond Sandbox so enticing. It presents itself as a highly moddable, next-gen VR physics sandbox with multiplayer, alternate game modes like a tactical shooter mode, and a zombie survival mode reminiscent of COD Zombies. What's especially impressive is that they say all of this will still run on Quest 2. Although they have said in a YouTube short that some mods will probably cause performance issues on Quest 2, and that once the game is out, they plan to have a system to verify if a mod works well on Quest. Personally, I'm concerned about how specifically modded multiplayer will run on Quest 2, especially in lobbies with larger player counts, but we'll see how that goes when the game launches into early access. Perhaps there will be a player limit on Quest lobbies or something in that vein to maintain a smooth experience. Now, I want to explain the reasons why people are skeptical about Beyond Sandbox, or why some even go so far as to hate it or call it a scam. The marketing for Beyond Sandbox is almost entirely done through sensational YouTube shorts posted on the Beyond Sandbox YouTube channel. Let me just say, in no way is this criticism of Gaijin, the guy who makes all of their YouTube shorts, who is also probably the voice you hear in your head when you think about Beyond Sandbox. This is literally just his job, and he is killing it. Round of applause for Gaijin. I mean, 150 million views. Wow, they gotta give you a raise. Alright, anyway, the marketing of Beyond Sandbox is, in my opinion, the catalyst from which the majority of warranted criticism towards the game originates. It is clearly heavily optimized for viewer attention, and because of that, things often get simplified into piles of buzzwords, which tend to come across as confusing and misleading to the viewer. The marketing is also at the very least kid-friendly, but in reality it comes across as targeted at a younger audience. Now, I'm not going to get into the ethics of marketing a clearly gory game to children, mainly because I'm yet to see a reputable study that concludes that violence in virtual reality actually has any effect on the brain. But in defense of this strategy, let's take a quick look at the age demographics of VR by joining multiplayer lobbies with voice chat enabled. Oh god.
Hey, now. Hey, I will kill you if you don't come here.
Oh.
Green! Come here, Green. Green, oh my.
What?
You're white.
Oh yeah?
I got a quick question. Do you want to record a video?
Actually, I am doing the same thing, but different. I would like to interview you. I'm working on a video, and you are the perfect demographic to be interviewed. All right, follow me.
I'm sorry. I don't always wear these cat ears, but I have a cat. I've got a cat persona. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't. Actually.
All right. Hello, I'm John Schuhart. Shake my hand. Yes. Okay. So, I'm currently working on a video discussing Beyond Sandbox. Have you heard of it?
No.
No. Alright. So, it is a... It sounds like you've heard of it.
Karen.
You must not be scrolling the YouTube shorts. That's impressive. You don't do that?
I do. I'm a scroll warrior. My teacher said today that he's a keyboard warrior, so I said a scroller warrior.
I have the hypothesis that the majority of people playing VR are 13 or younger. Do you think that reflects your experience as a VR player?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think actually no. Most people, well, not myself, are very young. I'm below the age of 13.
Yeah.
I just sound young.
Most of the people
I'm not hit puberty.
are 13.
But I don't know.
Got it.
And my hypothesis is that the average
This kid said
age
hypothesis.
of VR players is 8.
You don't mind being shown in the video. Like, I don't need to be like
Oh,
the
no,
anonymous
no.
green gorilla.
I'm
No.
In the hall.
Actually, my name here, if you can see, is my actual YouTube name. Yeah, you can see. Oh, wait. If you can, but that's my name. Go subscribe to me and subscribe to this guy.
Alright, Dino.
Any more questions?
It's like behind your flower. Dino Rock.
Stop cheating!
Alright, yeah. I think that's all I need to get. Thank you for shake my hand. Yes. Shake my hand. I'll shake this guy's hand.
Wait.
I'll just pat you on the back actually. Okay, thank you. As you can see or hear, children around 13 or under are one of, if not the largest age group actively playing VR games. And I am certain that Beyond Sandbox would have never reached this level of attention in the VR space without them. I also want to touch on the use of buzzwords, specifically the quote-unquote next-gen claim, which is literally everywhere in the marketing. And it's not really true. In fact, I would argue that Beyond Sandbox might be the most current-gen VR game imaginable. Everything that I've seen in Beyond Sandbox has been done before. It just hasn't been put together into one game yet. The gore has been done before, actually to a concerning amount. How many games do we need where you just kill people with no end goal? And why do people keep buying them? That's besides the point. The physics have been done before, the multiplayer, the modding, even the physics fingers that they keep showing off have been done before, in an even more advanced way. I want to quickly shout out Tundra Fight School. I found out about him while researching this video, and he made some of the most impressive VR stuff I've ever seen. Just look at these fingers. And that was 5 years ago. He's been working on them ever since. It's actually criminal how I hadn't heard of him before. I'll touch on some more buzzwords in a later section of this video, but for now, we're moving on to the modding tools. I reached out to some modders who have access to Beyond Sandbox and their mod creation tools early. Unfortunately, all of the modders are under strict NDAs, so they couldn't answer my questions. I'm conflicted about this. It's completely in Atlas's rights to require an NDA, but I wish they would be more transparent about the modding tools that Beyond Sandbox offers. The game was supposed to come out today before it was delayed, and we still, from what I know, haven't seen how any of the modding tools work. And they have made some big promises about them. They're supposed to be easy to use, very beginner friendly, and extremely versatile, but we haven't seen any of it in action. The VR community has been burned by limited modding tools in the past, especially with Beyond Sandbox's largest competition, Bone Lab. And I think the modding tools will be a significant factor on if Beyond Sandbox will stand the test of time. Okay, let's talk about 3 other things that are all sorta related, so I have to bunch them together to explain everything correctly. Those things are, in no particular order, how many people work at Atlas XR, the Beyond Sandbox Patreon, and all the pre-made assets that are used in the game. I legitimately have no idea how many people are actually working on Beyond Sandbox. With cold hard info, I only know of a map designer who worked on Veil, who was mentioned in a YouTube short, and Nate Jonah, who co-founded Atlas XR. He also made the game Atlas Endgames that you may have heard brought up in discussions about the history of Atlas XR. But, and this isn't confirmed, if we assume that most of the Unreal Engine developers who also have the Beyond Sandbox core role in their Discord server either have or are working on the game, we have a guesstimate of at least 5 or 6 developers, which is a pretty small team. But if we assume that development on Beyond Sandbox started a little after Atlas Endgame's released, it's been almost 2 years, and I'm not sure if you know, but paying like 5 people to work on a game full-time for 2 years is really expensive. So even though it seems kind of weird to have a Patreon for a game nobody can play yet, it kind of makes sense because I know those YouTube shorts aren't making enough money to pay the bills. So I understand where they're coming from, even if I disagree with it. And maybe I'm just a little annoyed that I can't have all the up-to-date info about the game for this video without paying a monthly subscription. For all I know, on the Patreon they might have been showing off the modding tools for months now, so my previous statements are less valid. I've also seen a lot of criticism about how the game is made up of mostly pre-made assets. There's actually a term that people use to refer to games which are just a bunch of assets slapped together haphazardly and thrown onto marketplaces for cheap. They're called asset flips or shovelware, but to me, Beyond Sandbox doesn't come across that way. From what I've observed, the focus of the game is on the mechanics, the interactions you have with everything, and the modding capabilities. It doesn't seem to be trying to be visually unique. I think it's trying to be the gray Blender cube, the blank piece of paper, a literal sandbox. I think Beyond Sandbox is trying to be the foundation from which the community mods the life into it. My best guess is that they have spent the past 2 years of development working almost exclusively on the systems that you interact with. And with the approximate size of the team, if they spent their time making assets, they wouldn't be anywhere close to launching. Another thing that has caused people to dislike the game is in a YouTube short that Beyond Sandbox posted, you see a little bit of the tutorial level. In the level, there are clearly AI generated images on the wall. I don't know if these are just placeholders, but I think it would be unfortunate if it made it to the release version of the game. I personally kind of hate AI, but I think it would be hypocritical of me to bash Beyond Sandbox too much for this, especially if I let it slide in Bone Lab just because I like that game. On the topic of Bone Lab, for the past year I've watched as parts of the Bone Lab community have become more hostile to Beyond Sandbox and the other way around. I reached out to some people in the Bone Lab community with a few questions, and I got a response from the modder Innocent Citizen, which I'll read to you now. I think Beyond Sandbox is very misleading. It uses a lot of paid assets, which isn't bad in itself, but claiming it to be the big next step in VR but be entirely paid assets isn't a good look, such as their bleeding systems and like all of their 3D models. I also think their advertising is quite misleading on their YouTube shorts, for example, where they don't have the player move for a long time in the videos, possibly meaning they don't have their movement systems completed yet, whilst they focus on other complicated systems. As for Beyond Sandbox having an impact on the Bone Lab community, I think it will have little or no impact to a positive impact, honestly. I think it will have little to no impact because Bone Lab's modding community is so tightly knit, and I don't think anyone will move over to Beyond Sandbox. But maybe it'll be a positive thing because it will filter out all of the kids. Lame out. Once again, thank you very much, Innocent Citizen. Your response reflects the sentiment I've seen floating around the Bone Lab community, and honestly, it's similar to my opinions as well. I think another reason why the two communities dislike each other is kind of Beyond Sandbox's fault. In the first short they ever posted, they compared themselves to Bone Lab, and in the third short they said they were the future of VR physics. Yep, it's the buzzwords again. But the community around Stress Level Zero's games know that they've been chasing after this stuff for 10 years, so watching a random company they've never heard of before claim to be the future of VR physics, it doesn't just make you skeptical, it seems impossible. You can't make something better than Marrow in 2 years, do you hear yourself? Even though Bone Lab and Beyond Sandbox are competing to be the best moddable VR sandbox game, their approaches are very, very different. Stress Level Zero are trying to pave the way for the future of VR. In a way, I think they're trying to be the source engine of VR, but they want the foundation to be perfect before they license Marrow to other developers or start work on their most ambitious projects. Bone Lab was just a stepping stone to what they want to make. It let them experiment and it let people get a taste of what modding Marrow looks like. Stress Level Zero's approach takes forever, it's extremely difficult, it makes the community mad at them, and on top of that, they also make a lot of their own assets and have a very prominent art style which Beyond Sandbox lacks. Beyond Sandbox, on the other hand, is trying to make the best VR sandbox modding platform of today. They seem to have a play rig they're happy with and started work on other mechanics. Beyond Sandbox's end goal seems to be Beyond Sandbox, while Stress Level Zero are trying to make the foundation from which the future of VR can be built. Beyond Sandbox is kind of a symptom of SLZ's strategy. Stress Level Zero proved with Boneworks and Bone Lab that the full body physics player works. And while they keep marching forward to 6 Degrees of Freedom stuff, Atlas XR saw what they did and implemented a physics player into their own game, which isn't cutting edge, but it just works. It's been proven before. I also went into the field to ask some Bone Lab players what they think about Beyond Sandbox. Here's the footage. Dark and CS Riddick? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
I would like to... Oh my god, he died. I would like
disappeared off my
to
hands.
talk to both of you over there where there's not a lot of people about Beyond Sandbox. Try not to kill each other. Try not to kill each other. I know it's gonna be difficult. You are having the jolliest skip around ever.
I want
I want
Beyond
Beyond
Sandbox. But it's not out. It's coming out on the 23rd of
Alright, I get the impression that you, Mr. Bald, really want Beyond Sandbox, and you, Dark,
Yeah,
are kind
but I'm
of skeptical of it. Or
Yeah.
How much?
I mean, I
How
sort of
much
want
is
it,
it gonna
but
cost?
I don't think it's
Like,
coming out.
It's coming out the 23rd of April now.
They've delayed it like a couple of
He
times.
shouldn't be here.
So,
Bro, why? Explain.
why are you personally so skeptical about Beyond Sandbox?
So I'm kind of playing
I
around with
think
this
it's
tree.
Too hard to run on Quest because they're saying it's going to be on like standalone Quest. I don't think that's going
No,
to
but
happen.
if you haven't seen, have you not seen it? There's a new video out where they shoot a zombie. It just keeps on walking. It's not like it does this.
Yo, could you
Doesn't
be
even
a little
react when you
less
shoot
not
an NPC.
obnoxious? You don't want
No,
to
calm down,
Yeah,
calm down.
please
This,
kill
calm
the
down,
NPCs.
calm down. Everybody, calm down. Stop fighting. We're trying to have a respectful
I'm gonna
debate here.
interrupt you. I'm gonna interrupt.
Mr. Bald, I have a question for you. All right.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about Beyond Sandbox's marketing?
What do you mean? Bro, move.
Like
Well, like
the
how
videos.
they tried to sell the game.
Yeah.
I feel like they're okay until the new one came out.
The new one. Which one was that? Like the one talking about the delay?
It's the one where they say the new release date. It's the one where they say the 23rd of April.
Yeah.
Like because I hate it because when they shot the zombies and the zombies just kept on walking. If they're next gen, I want them to go like and knock back a little bit.
The question
Do you
literally
work
just.
for Beyond Sandbox?
I don't, but I'm working on a video about the game. And I'm trying to understand both perspectives: people who hate it, people who love it.
I like it, but it's just the release dates. It's just annoying at this point.
So would you say that you dislike the delay happening?
Yeah, I dislike the delay, but I like the game.
Got it.
Why wouldn't this work? Why wouldn't this work?
Move, you baldy!
So, what do you think about Beyond Sandbox's marketing, the YouTube shorts and stuff?
I mean, I've seen this thing on Steam. I think
sure.
on Steam it's like blurred out on all the stuff that they showed on YouTube, but I don't think is good because on YouTube they haven't blurred out anything. Any of the gore stuff, I think.
Hey, the
I haven't
gore
really seen
stuff.
the videos in a while.
Yeah, a lot of people have criticized Beyond Sandbox's marketing for being next, or like saying that they are next gen, using a lot of buzzwords and overall seeming to be aimed at children while also being misleading about the contents of the actual game. What do you think about this?
See, I'm not the only bold one.
That's true. But
I'm not the only. You go down there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
god. Are you alive? Okay.
Don't teleport
The final
me.
question I'm gonna ask is, in
What's
your
this?
opinion, do you think Beyond Sandbox is a scam?
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I already know Mr. Bald's opinion on this.
Stop calling me Mr. Bald. Bro,
You're
know
pretty
melee-
bald, dude.
you
I'm
know
sorry,
no
you're really
weapons
bald.
affect me. Yeah,
Mr.
Bro,
Clean.
that doesn't do anything. That just pisses me off.
Didn't kill me!
I think one thing that was illustrated pretty clearly through all of that chaos is whether or not you like Beyond Sandbox, people are annoyed by the game being delayed. So to finish up this video, let's go full circle and talk about the delay. This delay could have happened for many reasons that we know nothing about, but delays are pretty synonymous with development hell, so when you hear a game got delayed, even if you were looking forward to it, it's definitely concerning. If you asked me 9 months ago if Beyond Sandbox would be good, I would have said absolutely not. But since then, I worked on and released a game with my friends, and even though it was a joke Wojak game that only took 4 months to make, we had internal delays, and for the weeks leading up to release, I was losing track of everything just to make sure our game was released in a good state. My life became developing Escape the Wojak. We were so close to delaying it, the final song we needed for the game was finished the day we sent it into Steam to release. So I am going to give the team at Atlas XR and Beyond Sandbox the benefit of the doubt wherever I can, because even though they've done things I disagree with, have set unachievable release dates, and haven't been transparent with the state of their game, I cannot imagine being in their shoes. The expectations, the stakes, everything is astronomically higher than anything I have ever experienced. And honestly, I wish Bone Lab was delayed like Beyond Sandbox has. The game released in an awful state, and I hope that this extra month allows Atlas to make sure that they have a game ready to release. We need more good things happening in VR, and I hope that the trust that I've put in the team at Atlas is paid off. Else, this video will age horribly. So, that's why I think Beyond Sandbox isn't a scam. Thank you so much for watching. This video was very hard to write, but I hope it properly conveys what I want to say. In an ideal world, people who hate Beyond Sandbox will call me a shill, and people who love it will say I've been too negative. Beyond Sandbox said that they will release some long-form videos today. At the time of recording this, they aren't out yet. If they are really important, I might make a shorter follow-up video talking about them, but I'm not really sure. Finally, if anyone from the team at Atlas makes it this far, the one thing I ask of you is please, before launch, be more transparent about the things you have. The community you have built would love to see the modding tools you've made, and since they can't hear from the modders themselves, I really hope you make at least one video showing how the tools work. Like and subscribe if you liked and subscribed the video. Goodbye.